Hi guys, welcome back to Kpop Talks. Today we're doing the worst K-pop albums of May 2024. Now, as I said in the previous video, May was a pretty good month for K-pop, but man, there were some shits in here that will make you cringe really when you think about how bad some of those projects were. Now think about it. Yes, Sokodomo I didn't mention because it came out in the 29th of April. I've listened to it in May, obviously, but then I've decided to say, you know what? I'm not gonna mention it, even though it came out late towards the year. I'm not gonna mention it. But it's an album that I've enjoyed, so I forgot about to say it. So consider Sokodomo with Sweetheart being another really good project, and an interesting way that Sokomoto went and evolved as an artist in an interesting way, without forgetting his roots, which will always be hip hop regardless of what anybody says. But let's get into the shits. Solar with Colors. Now, I already said I hate the single. I think it's it's by far the worst song Solar has ever made. But the album itself is pretty bad. I mean, it's boring, it's predictable, it's what I would expect from somebody that doesn't take music seriously, you know? Because you compare it to something, for example, that Moonbill releases, or obviously Moonbill or Wasa or anybody else really. Win, obviously. What's her name? It's not Win. Why did I think of Win? What's her name? Win. Why did I forget that? I don't know. Win, who consistently tries to improve as an artist. She's just boring. She's there. She's a YouTuber now. Let's be honest. She's a famous YouTuber. She makes bank from a YouTube channel. So she doesn't care, obviously. But it's kind of sad because she has a lot of talent. But if she doesn't want to use it, we have to say the music is bad. It's good for her. Let me do this a little bit more, okay? So yeah, it's one of the worst albums of the year, easily. Another one, it's Yuna with Attitude. Oh my, the fall off has been catastrophical. I mean, Yuna used to be one of the best soloists in Korea, and she turned into a joke, a meme, a shell of herself. She's like when you watch, like, I don't know, Ronaldo at these World Euros or Messi at the Copa America. These are dying elephants. I'm watching an elephant die, and it's not even making you cry, just like, damn, it's so sad. And it's sad to see her like this. Obviously, music is not her thing anymore. She does it because it's revenue, it's money. But like, her music has become so stale, and it doesn't even have that attitude of rebelliousness and sexuality and wanting to be forward and different. She's just there, Obviously, she chose a life path that I don't agree with, but it's her life. She decides to live it that way. Good for her. But the album is really bad, and it's only 4 songs, but it feels like it's 15. So now it hurts me to actually having to call them out, but BM with Element. I love BM. I think BM has a lot of talent. The thing with this album, it feels it's just a mash of a bunch of different things. They don't fit well with each other. They don't really stand out in a positive way. They just feel there. And to a certain extent, that's not necessarily the biggest problem. But the problem is that every single song is the same. It's very repetitive. And I think BM has actually a lot of things to say, but he keeps himself very generic. From a production, the production is garbage throughout this album. I don't know if he did that, but if he did, he should stop, because it's just not his thing. It feels like 2005 stock, like mainstream hip hop stuff. It's just bad, and it hurts me to say that, but it's true. Next we have Doyoung with Youth. This fucking brother, man. What the fuck happened to this brother, man? Like, this dude looked so good, and then he drops this. It's so... it's cookie cutter vanilla. It's not even vanilla, it's just water. It has no taste. It's okay, right? Like, it's so fucking obnoxiously bad. And this album came out in April, but I've listened to it in May. And I'm gonna put in there, obviously, because I forgot, IVE with Switch. If I didn't think IVE could get any worse, they've proved it once again with a very mediocre album. I think front to back. I think that's been a problem, overall of IVE, in my opinion, where like they started so good, and this was my worry, because of how much money they've made and how much they want to push Wonyoung as the face, they can't necessarily experiment too much. Wonyoung is very limited as a vocalist inside of a group where there's much better singers, but because they want to push Wonyoung as the girl, similar to Irene, right? But Red Velvet does a much better job at dealing with that aspect of the group, because they use Irene for specific moments. She's still the face in the music video, in the group or whatever, but like they don't abuse of her in the music. I abuse her even in the music, to the point that the situation where like, why isn't somebody else singing this? Like Hyunjin is a much more stable singer. Why are we having Wonyoung where you can clearly tell that to do that part she took 15, 30 tries, where Hyunjin might take 3? But this album is what I like to call a big problem, because it can start signaling a moment of never change. So saying like this till the day this group dies, or you will need such a change of popularity in the group, either from Wonyoung or from somebody else. Somebody gets much more popular than her, and they were ready to change. But they have no intention. And by the way, this is something that Starship does all the time. They find a popular guy or girl, and they just abuse him in every aspect inside of the group. So they did that with even a group like Monsta X, for example, right, where it was always the same 3 guys, where it wasn't really necessary to do so, considering the way the group used to sound. At a personal level, I'm quite disappointed by this album, and I'm really mad because they're a good group, but then they drew stuff like this. And I have to say it, guys. 17 is right here, which is a compilation album, which I hate compilation albums. I mean, it's just another way to chart, to claim you sold much. Like, 17 is selling so much shit. Like, there's no way that abusing this fucking ranking system is not a problem. Like, this industry has gotten much more difficult than it was 15 years ago without the internet. I have no idea how. It's much more difficult for now groups to actually stabilize themselves in this industry. And one of these is this. Like dropping these extended cuts, these like repackaged album, because if I drop a repackaged and every song is getting 100,000, 200,000 streams a day, I can claim the album sold, I don't know, 50k in a month, even though it's just a repackaged album. So I'm gonna put every single major song, I'm gonna put the Korean version, I'm gonna put Manse, bro, very nice, not songs from like 2 years ago, from like 9 years ago, I'm gonna put in here, just so I can actually get streams. It has to be one of the saddest things I see, specifically from groups like 17. I think last year sold like 8 million records. What are we doing, man? This is really... Bro, Big Bang didn't do that. Fucking GG didn't do that shit. Why are these groups doing it? And there's less physical albums sold right now that are real albums that are bought by resellers or major corporations and stuff like that for advertisement than now, and yet we still have those things are done by the groups. Having said that, it's really sad, and this is my biggest disappointment so far this year. Having said that, thank you for watching. As you've seen, the list wasn't particularly long, but since I made the best, I'm gonna make also the worst, so you guys have a clear idea what I like and I don't, and you have an opinion on it. So thank you for watching, guys. Leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe, and see you next time. Goodbye.
It's nothing more than a daydream.